Good evening. This is Rodney with the Triton Wave Market Outlook for Monday, December 17th, 2012. All right, let's take a look at the S&Ps for Thursday and Friday's action. The last update was for Friday, so this is for Friday and Monday. And we see that there was reversal action on Thursday, there was reversal action on Friday that took the S&P down to, sorry about that. The S&P down to a closing price of 1409.25, and now it's now 5:30 Central Time on Sunday evening. It's now 1675, so it's up 750 points. And also the Euro USD is up in trading. So that brings us to like a head formation here and a little bit of a shoulder on the right. I do expect this to go up just a little bit more and tease that 1421 once again, which is my line in the sand. All the T waves are down below zero except for number 5, and that went below zero just slightly. The big sell on this would be if T5 goes below zero on the short wave. That would be a large formation downward trend below zero, above zero, and then hooks down. That is a classic sell signal for the waves, and that would drag T1, T2, T3 even further down, further down to an ultimate target down around 1340. So we'll just have to wait and see how this pans out. There has been light trading. Let's move this over and see what the 21 comparison of the 21 looks like. And on the 21, T5 has gone below zero. I think, okay, it's like one, even though, well, it'll have a different reading. This is a cash price, so it'll have a different reading on the Globex price. But it's easing below zero. It's below zero for the first time since the S&P was at 1362. And also, if you notice, we are below the 377 on the 21 and the 8 and the 21. The 8 is below the 377 and almost the 21. So this new price at 1417 puts it somewhere up near the 55 exponential moving average on the 21 cash. So if we look for day trades on the S&P, there wasn't really, I don't think there was a lot of action here today. Let me see here, back to okay, that's not a good one. That won't give you much of a day trade there. Okay, this is where it opened on Friday, and actually, let's get one more line up here for Thursday. Thursday goes back. Whoops. Okay, so this is approximately where you got in. So the Wednesday hash mark was down here. Wednesday down, and you can see it on T4. Thursday it popped up. It popped up a little bit and gave you a buy signal. Very short-term counter trend trade because T5 was below zero, and then it stayed basically flat except the T4 was up from 9:30 on, but it really didn't. It moved sideways to down a little bit until the end, and then it started moving back up again for almost like a neutral position on the day. It's only been after hours that this has popped up here. So let's see what this looks like again on the 1597. On the 1597, this is right into it's shot right into the 377 exponential moving average on the 1597. So we'll see where it goes from here. As I'm looking I'll bring this chart in here. So I'm looking at the Euro USD. It popped up a little bit and then came back below the opening. So we'll see how that goes during the nighttime. Move that back. One other thing I wanted to look at is, let me see, move this to a 21, and let's look at the VIX. So the VIX in the daily doesn't really give you a very good indication, but let's make this a 21 over here. We'll make this an ES on a 21. Okay, now we can see it. So you can see that the VIX started to move up on T1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5 on the 21 cash, while, and it actually gave you more of a heads up. It's more of a smoother wave than what happened on the ES because of the changes of what happened on Thursday with the contract changes into March. So this was kind of like a little bit volatile, but they all came down, approaching or down below zero, as the VIX moved up above zero. So basically, from the VIX, it looks like the market wants to go down. From the S&P on the 21-minute, it looks like the market wants to go down. I know it's still up 750, but we'll see what happens overnight. All right, taking a look at Goldman Sachs, is gone nowhere. It's gone sideways. And T1, T2 is still below zero, and T3 and T4 keep moving lower and lower. And the long line, you can see this long dark blue line here, is right skimming the zero line. Okay, on the other hand, the shorter term wave is slightly above zero. So since T1 and T2 are the trading waves for the daily and the short-term waves, and you can use these for an anchor on trading the 21. 21 is hovering right around zero. At this moment in time, I have to wait and see. I have to wait and make sure that at least T3 goes below zero before this is a confirmed short on Goldman Sachs. Other than that, it looks like it may pop up to 122 on a no trade day or an unvolatile day or sideways day. Okay, the most interesting stock of the day, of course, was Apple again, and I wanted to point out that we had a sale on this at about 665, and the target was this blue line down here at 515. It went a little bit lower. The main thing I wanted to show you was that these Fibonacci exponential moving averages, the 8, 21, 55, 89, 144, 233, and 377, and this one down here. The green one is the 610 and the 987. So let's watch and see what happens here. When the 8 and the 21 crossed over, it bounced 3 out of 5 days on the 55 before it went to the 89. Bounced sideways, went to the 144. 5 days later, bounced sideways, and then it eventually moved down to the 233. Bounced sideways for just 1 day, and then immediately started a 5-day descent down to the 377. Okay, then surprisingly, actually I thought it was going to come back up to the 233. It went right back up to the 144. So it jumped 2 Fibonacci progressions from 377 to 233 to 144, and then came right back down again and took them out. So we are now at the low, but even more importantly, we're at the point of that we are now below for the first time since I'll go back and check that in a minute. But we have closed below on Apple, below the 377 exponential moving average, which sets this up for any kind of a move to the upside, up to like the five $530 to the 8-period moving average. This sets us up for a fall all the way down to this trend line at 467, if not 455. And we can squinch this up a little bit, and we can see the last time it breached let me see here. The last time it breached the 377, last time it took off from the upside from 377 was back in May of '09. So this is a very long-term threat to the downside. And there's no reason why it shouldn't bounce off this very long, you can see that thin white line here. It goes all the way back actually to July July '09, and we could easily just come and there's going to be a lot of capitulation in this stock because a lot of people own it, and they're going to wake up in the morning and find that they owe margin calls, and that could drive the stock down pretty easily about 40 points in one day before there's any kind of a bounce. So just be careful of that. And if you're trading the 21 just for like a swing trade, you can see nice smooth trades in here. This happened on November 30th. Came back up again here. The wave came up above zero, came back down again, and it's still below zero. So there's no reason, if you're lucky enough to get in this at 522, 530, I would take that on the short side, both for the 21 cash and for the daily. Okay, Amazon is doing nicely. The same thing occurs on wave number 5, T5 on the daily. Once it goes below zero, comes above zero. Once it starts heading down again, this is a confirmation classic sell signal. This is T1 is kind of looks like it's over. It looks like it's like bending, folding over. And if you look more closely at the 21, T1 officially as of Friday is below zero, as well as T2, T3, T4, and T5 went below zero on Thursday. Not fully below, but enough to possibly take it through the 377, which if we do a fib retracement, or what I like to do is whatever it does on the upside, whoops, I did this wrong. Use that as a pivot area. Let's see here. Okay, you can use the 377 as a pivot area and take it up to the highs, and whatever that is, whatever that number, 238. And so bring over to the left-hand side to the chart, so 240. So the target on that, my target on that is if it breaches 246, it'll go to 238. So you just have to watch closely on that. If you're watching the, let's get rid of this here. Same thing on the ABC charts if you're following those and trading during the daytime. A move up in December on November 16th, and move down on the C wave. On these are obviously a little bit longer than swing trades. These are like 10-day trades up here, down on 12.6, and you would have taken a little bit of heat here, but it's still working its way down. That's all I have for tonight. Have a great evening, and I will see you at the next update. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.